Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Marshall. It is 6 o'clock on April 15th, 2025, and this is Introduction to Firearms. Today we'll be talking about my daily carry, the Sig Sauer P290RS, some of the features, upgrades from the original Sig 290, and we'll be field stripping it. So hopefully, whether you already have one or you're going to buy one, or even just out of curiosity, hopefully you learned something from this video. First things first, we're going to make the weapon safe. It does not come with a safety, so magazine's empty, out of the workspace. Pull the slide back, lock it, and the weapon's safe. And it is ready to be operated on. So, in 2011, Sig Sauer came out with the original P290 chambered in 380 ACP. Almost immediately, it started coming back with problems. People had complaints, malfunctions out the wazoo. So, exactly a year later, Sig went back to the drawing board. They took that base gun, chambered it in 9mm, threw a couple of features on, rebranded it, named it the 290RS, and came out with that in 2012. Although, I will say, albeit a lot better, this was also discontinued with the 365 in 2018. So, what did Sig Sauer change? Well, they left it a double action only, but the reason why it's got RS in its name is because they added a restrike trigger. All that means is that should you have a malfunction, the round fails to ignite, that propellant fails to ignite and send the round down range, you can simply pull the trigger again to attempt to send that round down range. This alleviates a lot of malfunctions that people were having, and outside of that, the only other real change is they added interchangeable grips. So if you push this push pin straight through the weapon, kind of see it there, you can take these grip faces off and replace them. Although I've looked and looked and looked, and I found very, very, very limited supply because this gun hasn't been around for several years. There's not that much selection out there. One of the main upgrades that you can still get is Galloway Precision comes out with a performance spring set that is supposed to eliminate some of the length of the trigger pull. The trigger pull is about 1 inch. And then from wall to break, it's 9 pounds, and it's also about 7/8 of an inch. So that spring kit is supposed to reduce some of that, as well as drop about 2 pounds off. Now, to field stripping. So, super simple. You have this button right here. That is going to be your slide release lever. And starting from the closed, you can kind of push it flush just a little bit. But in order to really get it moving, you need to line up this notch with the notch right here that the slide release lever is covering. So I'm going to do that. Super simple. Easiest way to do that is use your middle finger and pull the slide back just like this. Now, once you have those aligned, you can push that button all the way through and it'll actually separate. You can use a tool, a flathead screwdriver, anything. I just give it a little wiggle and it comes right out most of the time. Oh, come on, there we go. So, comes out just straight. There's no twisting or anything. And then your magazine is on, or your slide is unlocked, and you can separate it. So you got the frame, so you can clean everything there. And then on your slide, you have those springs I was talking about, which this one actually comes with two, an inner and an outer around the guide rod, which sits underneath the barrel. And then the barrel, the muzzle crown will actually, you have to kind of pull it out and then pull up, and it'll come out of this groove right here. So that's completely field stripping it, and assembly is just as easy. You'll slide the barrel back in, take that push rod and springs, and put it into this hole right here, and you'll be able to push it down against the barrel on the bottom side like this, and then simply slide the slide back on the pistol, pull it back the same way you did using your middle finger, line up those grooves, and replace the slide release lever. Now, you are ready to go, and that's been field stripped. Pretty cool gun. I have not had any issues with it yet, and let me know in the comments below if you learned something from this video. Thank you.